good day to be indigenous.
Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Couldn't cut. He didn't cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local and national Native news and events, and as you know, Haley, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
They are, Robert, and this portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue, Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Yes, they do, and we really appreciate their support. And on Mondays, we have Dr. Stately on, and today is Friday, and it is our pleasure. And I don't even know, Wendy and I were talking earlier, and we think that Mary might be the longest guest we've had in a good way. I think you were a state representative when you first came on, but we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and it's our Fun Friday with the State Senator.
I'm Matakiapi, everybody.
Yeah, so I think you were a representative when you started with us. So would that be 6 years ago or 5 years ago?
I just finished my 7th session, so maybe 7 years ago.
Yeah, well, you were playing coy. I don't think you were on right away when we started. I think I had to do a little begging. But
you were showing up all over the place.
That's right, and begging. But really appreciate you stopping in and coming in and being our groundbreaker. Now the politicians don't feel afraid because you've opened the door for us, and I'm serious. I really appreciate that, and I do bring it up every once in a while. But it is a real thing. Wendy and I were just talking about that. It's like, you've been on the show for a long time, and we appreciate it. And I feel like, especially now when we're on 5 days a week, it's fun, and it always has been fun having you on, and we have you on longer than we did when we were a 2-hour show years ago. But I always feel like it's always a positive show when you're on or whatever segment you're doing, and I really appreciate that because years into your it wasn't as easy as it as appears to be lately. There was a lot of Republican rule and things that weren't getting done and weird stuff going on. So appreciate the perseverance and always staying positive.
Well, thank you for that. If you don't stay that way, you just drag yourself down. It's so easy, especially in the last week or so with things going on around the world. Yeah. You can easily fall into a slump, but I try to stay as optimistic and as I can, and try to find the good things in people and find pathways to good work. I'm not much of a quitter, so I'll find one way or the other.
Hey, before we get going about this pretty fun week that we've had, and Haley and I ran into you in a couple places in the beginning of the week. I'd love to recap with you on that. But also, it looks like you won another award, and school social workers. Could you tell us a little bit about that? Do I have that right?
Yeah. We had just such a fantastic session in the Minnesota legislature this past session. And as the chair of education finance, I was certainly thrilled to get billions of dollars to put towards the work that our schools need and try to fill in some of those empty buckets and get the resources that our students and our staff need. And one of the things we were able to do here in Minnesota through the education committee was to put a lot of dollars into mental health and social health into our students, and then also for our teachers. And so we put a lot of money, millions of dollars, into the social work program and supporting social workers. But we also are trying to find ways to better utilize federal dollars and access to those federal dollars. So, for example, if a student receives Medicare, Medicaid, in the past, Minnesota hasn't allowed social workers to bill for the services that they're doing in the schools, even though at the federal level they can do that. The state has not been allowing that. And so we made sure that would be a great way to ensure that those federal dollars are getting to the school. It means a lot more money that our schools don't have to come up with. And, just recognizing the fact that the mental health and the emotional health of our teachers and our staff as well are really at a challenge. So, I was sure to ensure that there would be really good, strong funding for that for our social workers in our schools. And lo and behold, this is how they thank me.
Wow, that's great. And let me get the applause here button. I always like to use that just because I have it. But yeah, that is awesome. And wow, of course, especially now, but especially now, I think our workers need some breaks with mental health and some support. So that's just really totally awesome. Congratulations. That's good work, doing good work like you always do. Hey, we had a chance to see you, and what was weird this year and the year before, I remember it being so dark on Monday morning and because of the rain or something. And then this year I was driving up to Bade-Makaska, and I'm going, it's bright out. I wonder if I missed the morning beginning of Native or Indigenous Peoples Day, and it was really good to see you and hold the tobacco together and start the day off in a good way.
Yeah, it was. And I agree with you. It seemed like it was later. I don't think we started any later than we usually do because we do it when the sun's coming up.
Right.
So it was so great to meet you and Haley out there at Bade-Makaska at Thomas Beach, and would you say hundreds of other people that came out to bring the sun up in a good way with the Lemoyne family. The father and the two sons, every year they're out there and they bring their drums and they sing the songs to welcome and bring in our Indigenous Peoples Day. And this year, I think, like every year, more and more people are joining us, not just Native folks, but others that really have that sense of respect and kind of awe for the process. So it was good to see you both.
Yeah. And to mention too, and I don't think he gets enough mention because whenever I'm at the Capitol, he's always really supportive of us Natives and what I'm doing specifically. But I believe his name's Howard Ornstein. He was there?
Frank.
I'm sorry.
Representative Frank Hornstein was there. Yep. He's there every year. Yep. Every year he's there. He kind of checks in with me. Hey, is that thing still going? Is the sunrise ceremony? And his wife is a Jewish rabbi, and she was there. And there were a lot of folks that came out. The governor, the lieutenant governor, of course, was there.
Yeah.
So many other leaders in the Indigenous community. It was really lovely.
Yeah, it's interesting too, and I don't know if you know this, but there's 4 or 5 Native women that we know, and I don't want to say their names right now, but we know they swim before this every year, and I'm always like in shock because the water's too cold for me, but there's also some medicine in doing so. So
I'm sure
we have to give a quick shout out to them, and they do it every year. And it's like I said, did you swim again? And She said, "Of course we did." So
Oh my gosh.
maybe
Yeah.
Well, bravo.
maybe one year Haley can do that and let us know how that is.
I'll do it next year. I'll be up there way
Volunteer
before the sun
Haley.
comes up.
Cool.
Nice.
Hey, we're here with our favorite state senator, Mary Kunesh, and we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake.
Stay with us.
Hey, welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake.
This portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Hey, we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and later on we're going to have Wendy with some fun facts of our sacred animals. And it's just a rock and roll and gloomy day here, but a good day to listen and to the radio, and always a good day to be Indigenous.
Oh.
Right on. Hey, we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and we were just kind of talking a little bit about Monday, and geez, there was some more things going on. Haley, I went to St. Paul, big happenings at St. Paul at Lake Harriet. I was like in shock how many people were there. And then we stopped at AOC to see Robert Lilligren, Haley, get an award for making voting a tradition. That was really awesome to see by Secretary of State Steve Simon. And I always want to say Steve Swigum, so I don't know that's an old name from the politics day or what. But,
yeah, Swigums is an old name. Yep.
Yeah, well, and that was exciting. Then we saw State Senator Mary Kunesh, and Mary, talk a little bit about that. I know you were running around, but it was good to see you on supporting this big happenings in Minneapolis.
Yeah, there was a lot going on all over the place. We did the early morning sunrise, and then the St. Paul held their Indigenous Persons Day down on Lake Harriet, and then I actually had to come do a presentation for Excel Energy. They do it every year. I think they've asked me before to do a presentation on something around Indigenous Persons Day for their staff. So it's like a professional development over lunch. And so I presented a program called How the Federal Government Did Indian Country Wrong. And we just walked through all the different eras and all the different federal regulations that, were intended to destroy American Indian way of life and assimilate American Indians, thus taking all the land and all the goods with it. So that was over my lunch hour. And then we went down to, and that's where I met up with you again at the Indian Health Board at the Wellness Campus, where it was a groundbreaking for a new building for the Indian Health site, because we were able to get them a nice chunk of money through the bonding bill to build a wellness, and not just like go to the doctor, get your vaccines, get a physical or whatever else. But this one is really specifically about the whole well-being of the person, and really a lot we'll have to deal with addiction and all the different ways that we find our communities susceptible to that. So, and the mental health issues, we have such a large homeless population in that area of Minneapolis that this is going to be an incredibly, an incredible wealth of resources for our community. And Dr. Rock is there. He's the executive director, CEO, and he's just thrilled. He was just thrilled. He's been there for a long time doing incredible work, continues to educate himself as well. And we can't thank him enough for the work that he does for our communities.
Yeah, it was a day of celebration. People coming out and singing and dancing, and also round dance in that area and praying over the wellness of that area. Well, that was really, that'll be a land acknowledgement for me anytime, is to have
Yeah.
somebody come do that.
It was beautiful. And the other legislators that were championing these dollars, so Senator Zainab Mohammed, Representative Samantha Sensor-Mura, Senator Wes Weckland from the HHS committee was there.
Wow.
And they all came and they joined us in the round dance. And I think they were actually very thrilled to have been invited to do that. So when we talk about, folks are always saying, how can I get to support efforts better? How can I learn more? Coming to these sort of events is a great way to do that.
Absolutely. And being invited, take up on that invite, because things like that are open to everyone. And we always want to talk about, filling the circle. The medicine wheel has 4 colors, and that in some nations really describe that as all the colors coming together, meaning black, white, yellow, and red. And so come join us, and support us.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We'll feed you too, most likely.
Yeah.
Yes. There's always that. And there was a big giveaway, like a raffle giveaway. And oh my gosh, there were some winners that were so thrilled. There were some little kids that thought they just won the lottery, literally. It was very fun.
I got a coffee mug at the end there. Yeah.
You did?
You did too.
Indian Health Board.
I didn't get one.
Yeah.
I did get a beautiful plaque, though. I did get a beautiful plaque, so I should not complain. And good for you.
And also State Representative Heather Keeler, who is probably in Moorhead because you and her have led this fight over the few years about Indigenous Peoples Day. She was probably up in Moorhead doing her own round dancing.
Oh, they had a spectacular Indigenous Persons Day celebration up there. The majority leader, Melissa Hortman, went up to celebrate it with Representative Keeler. They had a whole day full of it. And, Representative Keeler really championed this law of ours to recognize the day as Indigenous Peoples Day, and then also to ensure that at least 1 hour. So if a school was open, because, in the past, when it was a different day,
right,
banks weren't open, the post office isn't open, a lot of times schools were not open. But if schools were open, they were obliged to provide at least 1 hour information about the day and the history of our Indigenous people. And Heather Keeler really, really, really did champion that.
Yeah, and it's funny to hear her story, because I don't know if you remember this, Mary, but years ago when COVID first hit, we were doing Sunday night symposiums with all the leaders all across the country, and that was exciting. We'd have not hundreds, but thousands and thousands of people watching this. And we heard about her because she was going to run for the school board because of this issue, and she changed her mind. And I remember it kind of being the buzz of one of the symposiums, is that this person, Heather Keeler, was now going to run for a representative.
Yeah. I do remember that. That was you have a good memory. Yeah, she thought she'd do something else, and then she got in there and looked around at who was on the possible ticket, and she's like, "Whoa, I'm not seeing anybody that looks like me that represents my community." And so she stepped up, and here we are. She's doing the incredible work. And what's really great is that when all those are Indigenous legislators, Jamie Becker-Finn, Lish Koslowski, Heather Keeler, are over in the House doing good work. They send it over to me in the Senate. I'm like, oh, this is going to be good. And so it really does make that difference.
Yeah, and it's exciting. It's exciting, and it's hard. We usually talk Thursdays, too, with Robert Lilligren about national politics, but Geez, I feel like if we keep plugging away and don't get complacent, we're going to remain a trifecta for a long time here in Minnesota, because Democrats are doing things and Republicans are just against things. So I don't know, Haley, what did I call them with the caucus again yesterday? It was like the chaos caucus, the Republican Party. It's just insane what they're doing. And
at the federal level. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Yowza.
Mm-hmm.
But we are really blessed and lucky to live in Minnesota. And I know we have a big audience in Wisconsin. You guys just keep plugging away and get rid of that gerrymandering and support the new Supreme Court. What's it say? God, I could say her name really well. I'll have to look it up for the next segment. But Seda, well, anyways, the new Supreme Court judge and support her, because they're trying to. She's not even done one thing, and the Republicans are trying to get rid of her.
Yeah. Well, it's still a lot of fallout from the Trump days, and he's still, of course, stirring the pot out there, and nobody quite seems to know what to do, how to do it, or is willing to step up and say enough is enough. We have to, we have to think of the people and not of ourselves or our own. And I'm sure they'll all say that's what we're doing. We're thinking of the people. But, we're very fortunate in Minnesota to have the Democrats in the majority, as well as a governor Democrat who has really made sure that we have government relationships with our tribal governments. And maybe we can talk about that next.
Yeah, let's do that. We're really blessed, and I'm sorry. It's Janet Protasewicz, and again, I had to see the words in front of me to say it. I have a good. You were just telling me I had a good memory, and it's like I can't remember. But support Janet and support Wisconsin. Hey, we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and later on Wendy Pilot with her Sacred Animals section. You're listening to Native Roots Radio presents "I'm Awake, I'm Awoke, I'm Awake." Minnesota has the only original wolf population in the continental United States.
And 80% of Minnesotans believe the wolf should be protected.
Howling for Wolves is asking Minnesotans to respect our true wildlife manager, the wolf.
Their survival is critical to our ecosystems, our communities, and even our economy.
As highly intelligent animals with strong social bonds, Minnesota wolves deserve to be protected and admired.
Learn more at howlingforwolves.org. Let's live and let howl.
True North Tree Care reminds us that ample blood supplies can never be assumed. It's healthy donors that make the difference. Don't pass the buck and give blood today. This message was courtesy of the folks who care at True North Tree Care, who say, our area is a great place to live, work, shop, and raise our families, and they're doing their part to keep it that way. That's True North Tree Care at 12800 Whitewater Drive in Minnetonka, where they're always concerned for the safety and welfare of our community. That's True North Tree Care.
I love my Toyota vehicles, so when I have to get service done, there's only one place I go. Rudy Luther Toyota. They know Toyotas inside and out. It starts with them checking your alignment and tire treads with their Hunter Quick Check Drive Inspection Service. Oil changes, tires, batteries, wipers, no matter what you need done, they can help you with reliable Toyota parts and the best service team in Minnesota. Check out their website, rudyluthertoyota.com, for service and parts specials just for Toyota vehicles. Get your Toyota serviced at Rudy Luther Toyota, 394 and 169 in Golden Valley.
2023 is here, and you can make it the year of the Eagle with the National Eagle Center. You and your family can enjoy exciting Eagle experiences, including field trips, private habitat tours, and exclusive behind-the-scenes tours. Meet live eagles up close, view bald eagles and golden eagles in the wild, and receive personal one-on-one education with dedicated and knowledgeable eagle experts as you journey into the world of eagles like never before. Learn more and plan your unforgettable Eagle experience today at nationaleaglecenter.org/experiences.
Cafe Latte offers made-from-scratch soups, salads, sandwiches, and mouth-watering desserts.
So come check out their pizza and wine bar, or get a treat from the bakery made fresh daily. Plus, you can still do online ordering and takeout, along with gift cards. Just go to cafelatte.com and choose from their ever-changing selection of award-winning salads, sandwiches, and soups. Cafe Latte is located off Victoria and Grand and online at cafelatte.com.
Hey, it's Patrick for Zero Res. Is your home ready for the holidays? Be honest, how does your carpet look and smell right now? Okay, maybe you have a carpet disaster on your hands, but that's why you should call my cleaning heroes at Zero Res. Some people hire a deal of the day carpet cleaner to save a little money, but trust shouldn't come that easily. Don't DIY it. Call Zero Res because you know it's safe and effective. That's why this month you can get 3 rooms Zero Resified starting at just $149 and take $75 off when you get your air ducts Zero Res clean. Call Zero Res right now, 952-ZERO-RES, or go online to ZeroResMinnesota.com and say you want the AM 950 special. Spell it forward or backward, it's the same. Zero Res. Refresh, restore, and protect your investment. Call Zero Res to clean your business the right way so your floors and surfaces stay cleaner longer without the harmful chemicals the other guys use. With a look at your AM 950 weather, I'm Patrick Lilia. Rain continues tonight, then cloudy on Saturday with a high of 52. Listen to the Matt McNeil Show weekdays from 3 to 5 for your chance to win a pay-per-view pass to the live stream of Stephanie Miller's Sexy Liberal Tour show October 21st. This giveaway only on the Matt McNeil Show.
Hi, I'm Jane Fonda, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake.
This portion of the show is supported by Strong Hearts Native Helpline. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Join Strong Hearts Native Helpline CEO Lori Jump for a virtual event. Let's Talk Empowerment at 1 p.m. Eastern Time on October 17th, 2023. Lori will lead an engaging and enlightening conversation on the pressing issue of domestic and sexual violence within Native communities. This event will dive into the crucial intersection between these forms of violence and the significance of culturally specific services and resources. Strong Hearts Native Helpline, free, confidential, anonymous, 24/7. Call or text 1-844-762-8483. That's 1-844-7-NATIVE. Or chat online at www.strongheartsnativehelpline.org.
Hey, it's exciting with Strong Hearts Native Helpline. They've started around the same time we have as at Native Roots Radio, around 2016, at the end of the 2016. And they've grown just tons. And before we get to State Senator Mary Kunesh, I just wanted to, I did a quick Google for the supporting of Janet Protasewicz. There is a website out there called defendjustice.com, and they want you to support Janet Protasewicz and stop the impeachment, sign the petition. This is an assault on democracy, would overturn a landslide election. Sign the petition now, learn more how you can fight back. So, again, that's defendjustice.com. Upside down world. So, hey, we're here with State Senator Mary Kunesh, and we're going to talk about real stuff and things that matter here. And welcome back.
Thank you so much. Here we are. I got my little granddaughter here with me. She woke up in the interim, so she's going to be hanging out with us and learning a little bit. But I was talking about some of the work at our state government level. And one thing that has come about is this program, this tribal state relations training that we do here in Minnesota. And it is training that provides education for our state employees about American Indian tribal governments. It includes the history, the cultures, traditions, And really and truly, the gist of the whole program is to empower our state employees to work effectively with our tribes. For a long time, there was no collaboration. There was no discussion with our tribes. State government just did what they wanted, and maybe they would tell the tribes, oh, this is going to happen, might affect you guys. But there was no government to government. I'm sure a lot of folks didn't even recognize the sovereignty of our tribal nations. But this training has been developed here in Minnesota, and it is it's there to create those partnerships. I attended the 2-day training. I hadn't been to it before. Just this week I attended it, and it was fantastic. It had tribal leaders there. It had legislators attended, both from the House and the Senate. So many of our employees and agencies and commissioners were there, because they have come to realize just what important and how valuable that partnership is with our tribes. And so we spent a full day going through the history of, not just the Dakota, but the Anishinaabe folks. Chairman Dupuy was there, Chairman Jensvold, Commissioner Schnell, Commissioner Strawman, the Levi Brown, the tribal liaison for the Department of Transportation. One of my constituents, and I've known her for a long time, Jackie Dion, she's the liaison from the Minnesota Department of Commerce. And that's the other thing that our governor has done, is created all of these tribal liaisons for all the different commissions, so that there's a go-to person when there's a question or an issue. We spent a whole day just on those sort of things. And then yesterday there were some great breakout sessions that focused on water and natural resource jurisdiction, cannabis, because now that Minnesota has legalized cannabis, our tribes already have, and they had been working on especially medical marijuana, making that available to everybody. ICWA and MIFPA, law enforcement jurisdiction, tribal lands. Another one was education, which was really important. And then there was a panel where our tribal leaders were talking about the land back movement and some of the really great things that have happened here in Minnesota for our tribes who are getting back some of the parcels of land that were, of course, illegally removed from them, but oftentimes have really sacred and special honor to that specific tribe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, wow, that's really exciting. And just to have these things and think maybe 10, 20 years ago, this was just a dream.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this was not, when I was elected back in 2016, this was not in place at all. And I just remember a lot of times when we'd be talking about legislation, and it might be having to do with water, with mining, with hunting, with fishing, all of these things. And we'd say, well, you've got a reservation right there. Have you spoken with the tribal leaders or the community? And they'd look at us like, no, why would we do that? We don't do that.
Exactly.
And now they have to. They absolutely have to. So, in just a short time, there were big changes.
Yeah. And you're right. You're absolutely right. So it's fun, but also important to talk about how much has happened in a good way, because I feel like sometimes, our people get a little nervous and don't realize the good things that are happening and maybe focus on things that need to be happening. But geez, I've learned over the years, you really have to pick your battles and hopefully time will be on your side and people will come around in the way you're thinking. You can't throw the baby with the bathwater out, because we need legislative to support native things. And this has really been unbelievable year with legislating for Native Americans.
Yeah, and I don't mean it as an excuse, but so many of the legislators have no idea. They just don't, when you don't learn these things in school, when it's not in the media, when nobody talks about it, the trauma and all the horrible things that happen to our Native folks, they just don't even know that it ever happened. It's
Right.
like, what? Where is this? How is this? When did this happen? And so, again, as an educator, that's really a big part of what I feel I do at the legislature is educate my other legislators around these issues. And honestly, most of the time, not all of the time, but most of the time, once they hear about it and maybe have a stronger understanding of the injustices, they're sort of ready to try to make some amends or make some adjustments in order to make sure that what's happening now is not going to end up like that. We're not going to take the lands away. How can we restore the lands? How can we put environmental justice in place? But also they recognize our responsibility, like we say, for the next 7 generations.
Right.
And I've heard non-Native folks use that term now, which is really kind of cute. Like, we need to do this for 7 generations going forward. And I'm like, yes. So.
Well, yeah, depending on which tribe you talk to, sometimes they talk about the generations before and the generations ahead, and it adds up to 7 generations. But because I've even heard people like John Trudell say that we are the 7th generation, and I say that at the end of our show. So it's different for different tribes, but looking forward to the future is the big part of that term.
Well, when you think about it, every generation is a 7th generation because there are those 6 behind.
Yeah.
And so those 6 generations, my great, 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 great grandma and grandpa, they were looking forward to my generation. And so now I've got to look forward to those 7 generations.
Right.
So there's never, until the end of the world, there will never not be a 7th generation.
Yeah, I always used to give a hard time to my students when they say, hey, we're the 7th generation. I go, no, I think you're the 8th or 9th. And they go, really? And I go, no, I'm just kidding. But those were the good old days. Hey, we got Wendy showing up in the studio here, getting ready for her segment. Wendy, the artist, it's crazy. I don't know, State Senator, have you seen some of Wendy's paintings for her dogs? She's taking orders so she can buy me a big Christmas present.
Nice.
Right, Wendy?
Yeah.
Maybe she'll paint you a big cat portrait.
Exactly.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Hey, well, Wendy, you're going to be up next in the next segment. We're excited to hear more about it.
Can't wait.
Right on. I'll pod you down and finish up with State Senator. Oh, and baby.
Yeah.
Well, a week ahead, what do you have going on?
Wow, I rarely look at my week ahead until like Saturday or Sunday. But we are going to be heading out again for another 2 tours for Education Committee. We'll be going up north this time. So driving from here up to St. Cloud, up to Moorhead, then cut east over to Bemidji area. We're going to visit one of the BIE schools, and just, we're going to keep looking and talking with our educators and those communities, so we know what we need to get done. Even though it's not a budget year, the budget's been set in Minnesota. Hopefully there'll be a little bit of a supplemental budget that we can do some one-time good work for education, because we need to continue we can't stop investing.
Absolutely. Doing great work, and appreciate you coming on and here. Just want to put that up.
Women's Press.
Right on. Wendy got that for us. So, hey, thank you again, State Senator Mary Kunesh, and we'll talk to you next week. Have a great week, and thanks for the great updates.
Yeah. Hope I run into you sometime this week.
Right on. Hey, you're listening
Bye,
to
Haley.
Native. We're listening to Native Roots Radio. Up next, Wendy. Yeah, wake up, Wendy. Oh.
Getting bus and train information in your language just got easier. Customers who call Metro Transit at 612-373-3333 are able to select language options at the start of the call. Access Next Trip, their automated real-time schedule information tool, and other Metro Transit assistance by calling 612-373-3333. For more information about other transit informational tools, visit metrotransit.org/tools.
In recognition of Domestic Violence Awareness Month, this message is brought to you by Strong Hearts Native Helpline, a culturally appropriate domestic and sexual violence helpline for Native American and Alaska Natives. Advocates provide free support and advocacy 24/7. Call or text 1-844-762-8483, that's 1-844-7-NATIVE, or chat online at strongheartshelpline.org. Safe, anonymous, confidential, 24/7.
No matter if you're eating out or cooking something at home, eatlocalminnesota.com has you covered with a list of locally owned restaurants and food purveyors. Locally owned Vinaigrette has been offering the finest olive oil and vinegar since 2009. Reintroduce yourself to all the many flavors by tasting before you buy. From darker white balsamic to cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil from all over the world, there is something for everyone. Vinaigrette, located at 50th and Xerxes in Minneapolis, or at vinaigrettemn.com. The Park Tavern is your go-to destination for fun. Enjoy the fantastic food like their pizzas, burgers, and sandwiches, the best bowling in Minnesota, their wildly popular outdoor patio, great drink specials, all the big games on their numerous screens, and it's the perfect place for your next private event, even large gatherings for over 200. The Park Tavern is your go-to destination for everyone. Have fun at the Park Tavern, Louisiana Avenue, north of Highway 7 in St. Louis Park.
This is Leonard Peltier. I am in Coleman 1 U.S. Penitentiary, and I'm listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awakened. This is Robert Pilot. Hey, welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awakened. I'm your host, Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Howling for Wolves, protecting wolves for future generations.
Did you hear I went ho like a deep wolf's voice? Hey, we're here with Wendy, and we're talking about our sacred animals. And, you know, I guess we're going to be talking about whatever you want, Wendy, because we've done Fun Fact Fridays during the week, too. So
yeah, we have, haven't we?
What do we want to talk about today?
Yeah. Hey, everybody. My name is Hanaji Hihani. That means cares for them. I was given that name by my Dega Curtis. Curtis goes by Mashke Hanajingo, which means walks on white clouds. I'm a humane policy volunteer leader for the Humane Society of the United States, and I work on animal issues at the local and state level. Yes, and I'm here, and a group of us went to Mayor St. Paul, Mayor Carter's office.
Yeah.
And we sat with his executive person.
Made it upstairs without falling down.
Oh, yeah, I fell, but I'm okay. I'm okay. I fell walking the dog
the day before.
Oh my goodness. But my priority was not to let go of the leash. That was my priority when I went down in the gutter and I was laying there flat on my face. That was the only thing I could think of is don't let the dog go. Don't let Wanda go. And I didn't. She didn't know what was going on. She was like jumping up and down around me like, you know, what are you laying on the floor, mommy, for? You know, what's up? Get up, get up, let's go. I was just like, oh my God. I'm okay. I have some scratches on my nose and lip and my knees swollen, but I'm okay. I did it, you know.
Nothing broken, which is really good.
Yeah, you always have to worry about that. But I mean, it just goes to show you how your life can change in an instant. And that's it, you know. So everybody be careful out there. So what am I going to talk about? Let's talk about quickly Pilot's Palette.
Yeah.
That's my new
business.
I paint pet portraits and I paint other things too.
Right.
You could find me on Facebook under Pilot's Palette.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have Facebook, you could email me at pilotspalette@gmail.com. Yeah, no apostrophe, pilotspalette@gmail.com. Yeah, it's been really fun. People are sending me pictures of their pets, and I've been painting them.
Really well, too. And I don't know if you can find that on pilotspalette.com or on Facebook.
Facebook, a lot of my pictures. Paintings are up
they're
there.
amazing.
Yeah,
and
they're fun.
Yeah, such a good job, and people get emotional when they see the.
Yeah.
So I just got to give you that. And what I liked about, people getting emotional about it, but also you always asking a backstory. I think that's so important to get the whole spirit of the animal.
Yeah, I like to know the animal's personality, what the dog or cat is like before I paint them, because then I could think about them when I paint them, make their essence come out more, I think.
Yeah. Definitely. Their spirit.
Yeah, definitely. So I'm having a lot of fun doing that. And yeah, so let's see. I got some fun facts here if you want to hear about some fun facts. Yeah. So lately, it's fall, and I see
You fell a couple days ago.
And it is fall. Exactly. There you go. That's funny, Robert.
Thank you.
Good one.
I'll be here all day.
There's 1 million squirrels out there running around trying to get, their winter stocked up.
I'm glad you didn't say nuts.
Yeah. But
okay.
I just see a lot of people who, honestly, it feels like they're trying to run them over.
Oh.
I wish people would just be more careful. There's a lot of animals out there. But you know what? When a baby squirrel is in trouble, they will seek out help from anything that moves. So please don't be alarmed if a baby squirrel approaches you. They will run up to you, run up your legs, follow you. So what should you do? Stay calm. Yeah, stay calm, get a blanket or a t-shirt or a shirt or, something, pick them up, put them in a warm, quiet, safe environment and call a rehabber immediately. Do not feed them. Babies chasing down people do not have a mom or they wouldn't be out of their nests.
Oh.
Yeah, so if that happens, I don't think there's any babies being born right now. I think September was the last time that the squirrels will have babies, but it's just always good to keep in mind that if you see a squirrel, there's a video online if you want to see it. It's a really cute thing. It's kind of sad too at the same time, but it's during a heat wave. And these people standing around, they all have water bottles in their hands, and there's a little squirrel that comes up and he's like on his hind legs, kind of begging to the guy, and the woman's there. I was like, I think the squirrel wants some water. So he takes the water, opens the water bottle and starts pouring it, and the squirrel is just like drinking this water like crazy. Yeah, you could probably just look it up on YouTube.
Well, we have like bird baths and dog bowls and seasonal dog bowls out back, and I always kind of made fun of that
I put them
that
out
you would
there.
do that, and then all of a sudden I'm watching squirrels and chipmunks,
ducks,
everybody drink out
drinking
of it.
the water.
These guys
know.
are thirsty, and they like the chlorine in the water. It keeps their teeth
fluoride.
Fluoride, and it keeps their teeth strong.
Yeah, I always keep water out there all the time. Even in the winter, I have a heated plug. I have it plugged in from the house, and it's a heated water dish.
Yeah,
because the animals still need water.
They're thirsty. It blows my mind. They use it.
I know,
and we keep it clean.
I do.
Those ducks like it.
I know.
Dirty.
Well, rats, how smart they are. I was born in the year of the rat, by the way.
I know a lot of rats, but we call them snitches.
But listen to this experiment. Rats who were trained to press a lever for food stopped pressing the lever once they learned and saw that it also caused another rat to receive an electric shock.
Oh, empathy.
That shows empathy in the rat. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Isn't that amazing?
I still hate those. They had to shock somebody to do that.
I know, but they learned. I know.
Right?
Yeah. I often talk about this on the radio show about dogs getting adopted, and this goes for cats too. Cats might take a little bit longer to adjust, I think. That's just my humble, no knowledge opinion, but dogs adopted take 3 days to decompress, 3 weeks to start to know your routine, and 3 months to start to feel at home. So give them a chance.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I really believe it after our last situation with our 3 dogs that we fostered or not fostered, but
we adopted them. Yeah.
And I'm looking for a Chihuahua out there. And has a Chihuahua.
I know. Robert loves Chihuahuas. He really does. Wolves, Howling for Wolves is our sponsor, and we always want to bring education about facts. So people think that wolves will attack their dogs and attack people, but this is a fact, and this is from Howling for Wolves. Wolves naturally fear humans and tend to shy away from human contact. There have been only 2 wolf-related human deaths in North America in the past 100 years.
How many?
Wow.
Yeah, 1 in 100. There have only been 2 wolf-related human deaths in North America in the past 100 years. Wolves are territorial and naturally compete with dogs. However, wolves naturally fear humans and generally will not approach pets in the presence of humans.
Wow.
Yeah.
We learned something new.
Exactly. I know. Only 2 wolf-related human deaths in North America in the past 100 years.
Would you say wolves don't like people?
They shy away from them.
You kind of do too, except for me. You kind of shy away from
I'm sure.
Part wolf?
Part rat. Part rat, part wolf.
Oh, wow. What a way to end the show. Hey, Peeny Geeky Wendy, thanks for being on again. And all you do, going to talk to the mayor and about for Free St. Paul. That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll talk about that more next week.
Ooh, I gave it away a little too much.
Yeah,
hey,
that's okay.
We're still here. We are the 7th generation. Please listen to Native Roots Radio on all your podcasts.
Free Leonard Peltier.
Now.